Meeting/hearing in the Ayer Board of Health will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting/hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID number 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Samantha Benoit, Administrative Coordinator at sbenoit@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 145, prior to the meeting.
Thank you, Trish. Okay, so declaring the Monday, March 9th meeting of the Ayer Board of Health call to order. The first thing that we're going to take care of is a public hearing on changes to the animal regs. So I'm going to read the public hearing notice for that part of the meeting. Public hearing notice. The Ayer Board of Health will be conducting a hybrid public hearing at 5:30 on Monday, March 9th, 2026 at Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, regarding the update and review of the keeping of animal and fowl regulations. Draft copies of the regulations are available upon request at the Board of Health office. For Zoom call-in information, please contact sbenoit at ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 145. And this was advertised twice in the Neshoba Valley Voice on February 20th and February 27th. So, first of all, my apologies to everyone for coming here late. I was looking at the 1 clock in my living room that I forgot to change. And I was thinking, I was at Town Hall this afternoon. It seems like there's an awful lot of time is going kind of slowly here. But did it dawn on me? No. So I'm very, very, very sorry. I know you take time out of your day to come here. So I really apologize for wasting your time. So what we have done, and I don't know if anyone has checked the new and the revised regulations, but we've just made a few changes to kind of clarify things mostly and to improve the readability of the regulations, but there are a couple of new things. So to just kind of give you a summary of what we're doing here, the thing that makes it look, has anyone looked at the redline version? Because the redline PDF will show you exactly what the changes are. It looks like there are more red lines than there are because some of the sections were kind of moved around. In the original regulation, there was this, under section 4 for permits, there was the section A for applications, and there wasn't like really a separate permitting process, and standards of care is a separate thing. So you'd be reading along about permitting, and then all of a sudden it would say something like, has to be 100 feet from the property line. It's like, what does this have to do with permitting? Should be down with all of the other sections. So that was the kind of big structural change, was to kind of put the things in permitting that have to do with permitting and putting the things in like standards of care and the permitting process that belong there. So by way of just kind of blanket explanation, I would say just see where there are a lot of comments where sometimes I will say it was a new section or just moved from a different place. So the comments are also a little helpful. So to go through kind of the specific changes, we're doing, you can only have a permit if you reside at the location. so that you can then control that permit as it's administered on your property. These things about abutter lists and written plans for disposal of waste is just moved from what used to be later in the regulation. There's also just a watch out in here. It's not really anything that we're regulating directly, but at the bottom of page 3 of the redlined version, we're adding a note here that you're advised to verify with the Conservation Commission location and scope of, activities if you're near a wetland. And that's not our regulation, that's the conservation regulation, but you should be aware of it if you're looking at these kinds of activities. Again, there's like some rearranging of things, and there are a couple of things that, as a board, we've just kind of looked at some wording that I wasn't really sure about with renovate. What are we talking about here with renovations? So there's some clarification of titles, zoning enforcement, building commissioner instead of building department. One of the significant changes, as it might affect you, hopefully not, is in the section for permitting process, we are adding a late fee. And that's something that you're seeing happening across boards in town. There's a late fee for your dog license now. And that's mainly because the administrative tasks for reviewing or renewing the batch of applications, if you're a renewer, so you can apply for a new permit any time that you happen to want to acquire chickens. But if you already have a permit and you're renewing, those are the ones to kind of watch, because you want to renew it before that application is really due. You have to get the application in by May 31st. Can submit it earlier than that so that we can get the inspection done and get all the paperwork done. But it's just so that it doesn't straggle on forever through the year. And we're still, come the turn of the following year, we're still dealing with straggling renewals. It just makes it really hard to plan resources for that stuff. So that is what's behind the late fee. Let's see. There's another tie into conservation, just that we're going to notify them. Again, it's not, just so that they're aware of activity, but it's not anything that we're going to enforce there. Along with the idea of having to be a resident, you can't transfer to a different person. It's like a person that the permit is issued to. It's a combination of the person and the area where you're going to be keeping the animals. When we get into standards of care, it's a new section, but as I noted in the comment here, these requirements all came from other places in the regulation. They were just pretty out of order in the places that they were originally in. Then there's no changes at all there for facilities for keeping animals. There is another new section, and this is one of the ones that we think is a fairly significant thing, is that the holder of the permit is responsible for preventing rodent infestations. And the best way to do that, of course, is to just keep your feed really locked up. It's kind of the same thing with birdseed and bears and varmints getting into your bird seed. They do it with chicken feed too. And once you have a rat problem, they can be really hard to eradicate. So just, and use whatever means are, the most responsible within your own ethics. You have a lot of options there for rodent control. We're not telling you what you need to do, but just kind of keep an eye on the rodent situation. The other area of change is for people who have poultry. We added a line item here about kind of calling your attention to this particular strain of bird flu that's going through, and it's in wild birds. And there have been a couple of domestic flocks in Massachusetts that have had to be destroyed because it got in there, and they think it's from sort of maybe migrating birds or water birds that are coming and might be landing there and getting a drink or a little bit of bird feed and then like moving on, but somehow that transmission. So there's some good resources that I found on both the Mass Agricultural Resources website and also on like the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And they're just kind of best practices for keeping your flock healthy and fairly isolated from like wild birds. And then there is a new section about right to inspect, and that's because we do need to verify that what's going on in your operation, if you could call it that. I don't know if having 2 or 3 chickens constitutes a poultry operation, but for lack of a better word, Julie, the animal inspector, goes in at least once a year to just verify that things are as they were described in the permit. So if you applied for 5 chickens, you don't have 50 of them running around. If you had the coop in a particular location or it was a certain size, that's still the situation. So that's part of what they're verifying. They're also doing like a check for, do they see any rodent activity? Do they see any areas of concern with maybe food that isn't, sort of tightly controlled? And what Julie and Bridget, who is the health agent, who I'm sure many of you know, tend to do is they will make contact with you and just try to give you some educational materials and resources to help you understand how to better prevent those kinds of problems. So it's not any kind of a lengthy inspection. It's just that we're having an issue with rodents in town, with rats in particular. And it's really hard to nail down the rat activity if you can't like go there when somebody reports it and look. So that's kind of what this right to inspect is really all about. It's so that we can kind of quickly look at things that might be an issue. And none of the other things changed with fines or anything like that. So that is the sort of rundown. And I know that I'm really glad that a lot of you got PDFs so you can see exactly what the changes are. So there's a couple of things that as a board that we need to discuss that are in here as questions. We can do that after we hear from you, but this is a public hearing and it's our opportunity to hear from you. So whoever would like to make comments or suggestions or whatever input you have, please feel free to do so. Just tell us your name so that Sam can write that down. Maybe come up to the chair if, especially if you're way in the back and we're having trouble hearing you, but you can do what you're most comfortable with. You're certainly welcome to come up.
We do have one on Zoom.
We have one on Zoom.
Okay.
She has a question.
All right. Let's start off with our Zoom question. Start off with someone who's not even here.
Oh, name and address too. Yeah.
Great. Rachel, if you want to ask, you can.
Hello, Rachel Kozera, 30 Groton Harvard Road.
Hi.
I am excuse me, I'm so sorry. We have a puppy and he was getting into trouble.
That's okay.
So I just wanted to suggest, you just mentioned about a rodent problem.
Yeah.
And I recently attended, it was a seminar regarding kind of that whole entire topic, which is really random to say. But I don't know if anyone uses different products, but I just wanted to suggest to try to use different methods that aren't poisoning, like the hawks and the eagles that we have here.
Yeah.
If people are using, I think they're called rodenticides.
Rodenticides, yes.
I'm sorry, it's a hard word. That they're, I know a really good option is instant mashed potatoes. And so because the rats can't regurgitate, it's not very nice to think about, but that isn't a kind of like an eco way to
I
kind
had
of deal
no
with things.
idea.
There's other things like that too. So I just wanted to mention that just because we,
wild.
knock on wood, we don't have any troubles like that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that just because I guess it's a problem other places. So
Yeah, it has
yeah.
been, and you're right. There are a lot of concerns about what are you doing to the environment. You know, how bad is your problem? You don't want to start with the nuclear option. So, I would say for sure start with sort of good practices for the keeping of your feed. I know even for my I have metal barrels that I keep bird seed in. I've got to bungee the tops shut to just make sure that nothing gets in there. So.
All
Yeah,
right.
control
Well, thank you so much. I
important.
appreciate your time. Have a nice night.
Thank you for your input.
But the issue I have with rodents is, yeah, I keep the food secure as much as possible, but I got a garden. Those rats do a number on my apples and on my,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's very frustrating. I'd like to take a gun and,
I know. I hear you. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
and I trap them. I put the traps out, I catch a few, and then they get smart, and I don't catch any for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you want to come up and tell us about your concerns and questions? You can.
No.
Or is it mostly just
It's
the
just a comment.
like,
of-
yeah, the
of
comment
The
that-
issues with the rots. I mean, I have concerns
Yeah.
about it, but
yeah.
I've got them. They come in my house. I got a stone foundation, so.
Oh, I know. I have the same problem. Yeah, mice. As soon as it gets warm,
I'm
you know,
not
starts to
only
get
hiding
too
the food
cold.
from for the bird food, I'm hiding my food so they can't find that.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. It's like it's constant battle. We're under assault. I can ask. Do we have any like resources? I know that Neshoba did the rodent sheet, I guess, information sheet that we were going to send out along with the applications for renewal this year. So because this is kind of a concern that's on multiple people's minds, let me check in with Bridget and Julie again and see if there's anything else that we can provide you with. I mean, it's hard as individuals to do the research, so I was really surprised when I looked into the avian flu at the resources that were available at Mass Agriculture and also at the feds. So if we can give you a list of resources to try to do that.
That'd be helpful.
Okay, thank you. What's your, can you give Sam your
Bun
name?
up here.
Thank you. Anyone? I see a hand.
My name is Anna Mayer. I live at 9 Mountain Laurel
Yep.
Road. And yes, along those lines, does the Board of Health have the authority to require in certain instances the non-use of rodenticides and then just say in which circumstances you could use them if it's an emergency or whatever,
Mhm.
but to restrict it in any way in these regulations?
Some towns are starting to look at that. It's one of the problems is it's a legal product to sell in the state. So it's very hard to restrict the use of something. I know that I think there's one in the Senate and maybe one in the House at the state level that's been proposed to just eliminate the sale make it illegal to acquire in the state, the really bad ones.
Well, it could be just a recommendation like reduce, reuse, recycle, like a sequence of events.
He's up here. It's right here.
Oh, it's Jacob.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm working on
it. Okay, I guess we're all set. Yeah, as I said, we'll look and see what kind of rodent resources that we could maybe find to put in a package for people that are doing this. I mean, it's kind of a problem that we've got as Board of Health on the rodenticides is that we're always kind of trying to balance out what do you do if there's a really bad infestation? And, and it's like a critical matter that has to be dealt with. So unfortunately, there are still some circumstances where as I think of it, the nuclear option for rodenticides, you sort of have to have available as a possibility. I certainly wouldn't advise anyone to do that as a starter. It's terrible for the environment, and it's dangerous for kids and pets.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, I'll try to give
Owls,
some
yeah.
resources for that. Yes, right. Raptors are in trouble, and you know,
Dogs even.
I am always worried about what my dogs could be getting into constantly.
I have a cat who died because of it.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
It's hard because somebody in my
Yeah.
neighborhood poisons, we don't, but we have found dead animals in our yard, and I had a
Yeah.
Siberian husky, and he got a hold of a woodchuck that was dead,
Oh,
and I got it away from him thankfully, but you can tell because the blood comes out of their nose, that's how you
Yeah.
know poison.
yeah. You're right. That's what I worry about too with my dogs. It's not necessarily that they're going to pick up the poison, but they're going to get something that has been poisoned
Right.
and yeah, and get it that way.
It's kind of frightening actually.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I had a dead rodent in the house at Decatur. I couldn't find it.
Oh,
All this
that's the
stench.
worst. Yeah,
Um,
yep. Yeah, I know. No, you've got to. It's a double-edged sword with the rodenticides. You know, you don't want the rodents, but you don't want to destroy everything else in the process.
I would recommend having that language, sort of the preference is to use non-rodenticides, only in emergency situations would you resort to something that would poison other animals in your neighborhood.
Yeah, let's as I said, I'll look in the educational materials what we can find, and we'll try to present, some balanced information on what are, preferable rodenticides or, maybe ways to start off. And
I would prefer, just on record, I would like to prefer it stronger than that.
the difficulty too that we have with that is enforcement, because we don't have the resources, nor do people that have chicken permits want us going out there and looking at with our spyglass. What do you do? What are you feeding your rats? It's like,
But just saying that there's a preference by the town that
Mhm.
that rodenticides be used as a last resort, doesn't mean that you would necessarily have to enforce that. It would just be in the regulation that that's your preference. So if you do find information that the person's using that, you could recommend or say that please don't use that, or it doesn't have to be like this
yeah,
stick,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a strong recommendation by the town.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. All
In
right,
writing,
we can.
writing and regulation.
We'll take that under consideration for further discussion. As an input. Anyone else? Yes, back row.
I'm Jennifer King at 7 Union Street.
Hi.
I had a question about section 8, the right to inspect.
Yes.
The second sentence, maybe not a question, but inspections may be conducted anytime and without prior notice to the owner. I feel like that's a little broad. I agree. I know it's just Julie.
Yeah. No, it is. It is broad. I agree that it is broad. And it's in there primarily because, as I said, it's kind of a matter of if you get a report that something is happening on a property, Julie and Bridget are very quick to respond oftentimes, but you've got to respond and be able to see what's going on, for yourself. So it's not that we have no interest in going and, nosing around people's properties. It's more for that situation where we've got to go look at what's going on here. And we have a lot of, so Julie and Bridget it's a day job for them too. And another difficulty with people with chicken permits is that a lot of people work and are, not home during the day when they're on. So it becomes a game of trying to, match up when the homeowner or the permit holder and the inspector both have the time. And oftentimes by then it's kind of a, a moot point. Whatever was there has moved on. So,
As much
yeah.
as I appreciate
Pam?
that tension, I still feel like it's too broad. I mean, that's
Yeah, I hear you.
That's giving complete access without my permission to get on
Yep,
property.
I definitely hear you. Yep.
And it's private property, and
Yep.
even though I like you all, it's still a government
Yeah,
institution
yeah.
and intrusion.
Yep, exactly. Okay.
Pam,
Yep.
can you hear me? It's Bridget, sorry. On that note, I just want to say, so if there's a problem, I don't really like to go on people's property without them knowing, even if it says that in the regulation. So usually what I'll do is just call to coordinate and say, hey, we got a complaint, can we come by at such and such a time? And if you're not
Yeah.
there, are we okay to, we don't, I really don't, I'm not comfortable just showing up on somebody else's property
Yeah.
unless, again, there's a true emergency.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe, does anybody else have input on the property
Well, I agree with
access
I agree
thing?
with her.
Yeah.
I think it needs
Yeah,
to be,
I hear you. Yep.
It needs to be more scheduled and coordinated, and I understand your aspect of if there's a true problem, quote unquote.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you make it a
And I
problem,
think Pam too, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry, but there's a gentleman speaking. I don't know if you could hear him, Bridget.
No,
Sorry,
that's
I
my
can't
point
hear.
is, basically, like, it's a double-edged sword. You have, we would like, as a property owner, I would like advance notice so I can
Yep.
coordinate it. But as a town and as an inspector, like Bridget, for instance, if there's a true
Yeah.
problem, if you give too much advance notice, that problem can hide. So,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
little too broad. I think that some sort of
I hear you.
requirement for that should be a necessity.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we've got a couple on those. Bridget, do you want to finish what you were
There's
saying?
like a
Bridget?
lag.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bridget.
So I think the other part of the problem too is the reason it's important to have that in there about us coming on the property is people don't call us back. They don't respond if there's a complaint, and that has been happening. And that, if again, we've had some pretty serious problems with rats in destroying neighbors' property, and if we can't get on the property to see what's going on, then we lose time in trying to fix the situation.
Yeah, I wonder if we could, because as you say, Bridget, this really only comes up if it's a bad situation or an emergency situation. I wonder if we could craft some language that says something like, in the event that you're notified that there is a problem and an inspection is needed, that, there's some number of days by which you have to respond, or, just something to that effect. Because definitely, I mean, part of the agreement that you enter into when you take the permit is that these controlling rodents that may be attracted by your, and I'm going to say chickens because that's what most of our permits are, but attracted by your chickens, they're your problem to manage. Your neighbors didn't get the chickens. You got the chickens. So it does have to be on the permit holder to do this. But we probably don't need to have the wording quite this broad, that it sort of implies that we could come on anytime, any day, and look at anything. How do people feel about tying it to some sort of a circumstance?
I'm not available on the phone a lot of times. If they send me a text, I want to be here at such and such a time, come.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for you.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, and you could pick your vehicle. You could do it text alerts. You could do it with registered mail, like you did the notice for this meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other options available that are quote unquote official, would be on the record.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to just showing up. So I think
Okay.
there are other vehicles available for that.
That's reasonable, and that actually feels more right to me too. Than
Would it for people to speak in the microphone? I apologize for speaking out of turn. I just can't hear what the gentleman's saying. I apologize.
Okay.
Just that there are like other ways that we could notify the permit holder that there's an issue that we have to get on there to inspect. So if we tied the right to go on and inspect, like within a certain number of days, then we would notify them either through registered mail or through an email or a phone if we can work it out that way. Maybe what we could do on the permit application is have, what's your preferred method of contact? So what's the best way to get a hold of you? Are you a cell phone person? Are you a text person? Are you an email? Are you a mailbox person? So you know, we have a lot of permits, but not so many that we couldn't manage that. Okay. Yeah, that was good input. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Should I come up to the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, come, yeah.
Is that one?
Yep,
You can
yeah,
sit in the
the one at the very end there, yeah.
I just have a concern about this is Anna Mayer on 9 Mountain Laurel Road again.
Thank you.
I have a concern about the renewal of the permit.
Yeah.
Not a big concern, but you refer back to number 5 and 6, which is a written plan for the management and a list of abutters
Yeah.
that we wouldn't have to submit as a renewal. But I request to expand that to also not having to put in a plot plan back in if it's still the same. Like if everything is the same, then I would say just renew.
It's usually how I handle it. I don't always
Yeah.
I haven't gotten, if you have one, I don't ask or hunt you down for a plot plan.
Well, then you need to change this one, number 13, which is renewal applications for existing permits may omit the information in 5 and 6 above
Yeah.
if there have been no changes, but that's only the management plan, but not the plot plan and everything else.
Yeah.
So I would expand
I
that
think that's
to the other
fair,
one.
yeah. Yeah, that actually is fair. We could probably even handle that with, like a question on any changes to any of the following, yes, no. And if they're all no, then, and if they are, submit the
Then we just
revised
pay.
document, yeah.
Okay,
That's a
thank
good
you.
one. That is a good one, thank you. Let's see, renew. All right. Anything else?
It doesn't say the amount of what the late fee would be. Is that somewhere else?
It would,
Unless I missed it.
It does say a late fee of $50.
I'm looking for what section we said.
What section was that? Sam?
It's more than a credit card.
Yeah, it's, yeah,
It's
it's,
more than the price of the
it's
permit.
3A, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yes. And I missed the date last year for my dog licenses, so I had to pay it. It pinches, yeah, it really does, it really does.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, they changed the deadline on the dog licenses, they moved it up a month.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
You're
maybe
right.
you should consider maybe scaling that in an equal distance with the actual cost of the permit. If the permit's $35 and the late fee's $50, it's a little upside down.
Yeah. And more than a credit card, as we pointed out.
Yeah, true. On the other hand, though, if you're a renewal, you've had your permit for up to a year. You know when it expires.
But even $20 would be an incentive for us to pay.
It's just scalability wise, it just seems a little dispersed. That, you know, a
Yeah.
permit might be 35, but a late fee for 1 day is 50.
Well, that's how the dog license is.
Oh, no, I understand.
God,
As a general
yeah.
practice.
That's only like $10, right? I
It doesn't mean
know.
it's fair though, it just means it's.
Yeah, I hear ya.
It might be a little inflated in my opinion.
Oh, I just heard something about a first offense. That sounds interesting too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an option too, a scalable fee, a fine, if you will.
Yeah.
Rachel has got her hand raised.
Rachel on
Behind
Zoom.
you.
Hello again, Rachel Kozera, 30 Grattan Harvard Road. I just had a quick question. Were these posted anywhere? I wasn't able to find them. The regulations that you're reading from. I just tried to review them before the meeting and I couldn't find them, so I didn't know if they were private or if they were somewhere that I couldn't find.
Oh no, they're definitely not private.
They weren't private. It was just if you wanted them, just send me an email and I would have sent you a copy. Because,
Okay.
yeah, because the website updated, things got weird, so.
Oh,
I understand.
really? Oh, I gotcha.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so here's our renewal one. Somewhere to plug these things in. Anything else? Comments? Suggestions? Okay, awesome. Fantastic. So, I just have to ask you these questions. Do we close out the public hearing and then do deliberation, or do
No.
we
Close the hearing
We
when we're
close.
all done.
close the hearing when the whole meeting is done?
Well, when we're done with this portion, yes.
Okay, and that includes any deliberation?
Any deliberation.
Okay,
and any,
all right, I got you. I can't keep straight on the timing for when you close
We
things.
don't do them terribly often here, so.
Yeah, exactly, we don't. So, Bridget, there's just a couple of questions in here that I think I kind of wanted to clean up. Under this definition of animals, we've got reptiles and snakes included in the definition. We don't do permits for reptiles and snakes. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt that it's in the definition, but we do not do permits for, nor do we want to, for reptiles and snakes. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess they are an animal, so I guess we could leave that one if it doesn't really bug anybody. Yeah, the other one was
Yeah,
about,
it does say one or who applies for a permit to keep one or more animals or so it does include all the animals that are listed.
yeah, but then there's an exemption for reptiles and snakes, I believe, because the numbering got changed. So when I was writing it up, it was in section 4. Let's see if it still is or not.
On permits, it says no person shall own or operate a facility for keeping of animals without a permit. So you're saying there's an exemption section?
Oh, it's right in the beginning.
Yeah, so no person shall own or operate a facility. No permit shall be required for the keeping of household pets, provided that under no circumstances you can't say a swine, a sheep, a poultry, a goat, a llama, an alpaca, or something like that is a household pet. And I remember why we wrote it that way, because of pigs, pet pigs. And if it's a household pet, you might, if you keep one of those pets, have a case for an exemption from this, if it's truly a household animal, because that, could be one of those cases where, is this being contradictory? But we don't say that a reptile or a snake can't be a household pet. So that's where I would say, I think those qualify as household pets. I think they're kind of covered in the exemption. But we're not interested in your reptiles and your snakes. I've had a turtle for almost 30 years and he has never been licensed. So I'm not going to start now. All right. Yeah, the one about should conservation sign off, I'd actually change that to we're going to notify them. They can provide input, but it's like I didn't want our regulation to kind of cross into theirs. Yeah, so initial application from zoning enforcement, that's for a new one. Rules. That question, I thought there was one more question. Oh, on this, Sam, the thing with the abutters. At the top of page 5,
Yes.
we talk about 100 feet, but then in the definition, so that ended up just being, what, 100 or
100
3?
that was crossed out.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm consistent with,
No, 100 was crossed out, it was 300.
It was 300 and we crossed it up to 1.
Yep.
to make it 1.
Because the applications kept saying 100 feet, which is just your people right next to you.
Yeah.
Whereas 300 feet ends up
Yeah, we don't need to know the whole street.
everybody and your neighbors.
Right, yeah.
Their neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really just so your
It's
direct-
narrowing the list, yeah.
Your direct neighbors.
So 100 is
Okay.
the final number.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 is the final number. Okay. Is there another question? I don't think so. All right. So the questions that we got for consideration are, let me make sure that I've got a complete list so that we tackle everything. We have the late fee. We have something about the renewal applications, narrowing down what needs to be submitted. Right. We have yep, that's the only, the new information.
We do have a question on Zoom, Pam.
Okay.
Howdy, Jacob.
Hi.
Hi, Jacob Kazera, 30 Groton Harvard Road. Sorry about the other phone issue earlier.
Oh, that
so-
was you. That's all right. It happens.
Quick question about what I've heard on, just because I can't see like the updated bylaws, but like
Yeah.
the current ones with 100 feet, you required your abutters permission if 100 feet from a dwelling, not 100 feet from the property line. Is that changing now?
No, it's still 100 feet of the property line, and it's not so much that you need their permission as you have to notify them so they have the opportunity to come here and either.
Yeah, the
Support
property
or
line wasn't
object.
part of the previous language though. It was
Um,
dwelling.
In the previous language, we in the definition talked about 100 to the property line, but let's make sure, because that could be another inconsistency. So you're going to provide notice of the hearing, abutters within 100 feet. So that doesn't really talk about whether it's the dwelling or the property line.
But if it's defined from the property line.
Yeah,
it's
so
okay.
I think unless it's defined differently anywhere, and that's what I'm looking for to make sure of, that we didn't cross up our definitions. So it looks like it's always been property line.
I know I was really thorough when we applied for our first one a few years ago, and it was dwelling. But maybe that's just on the application form, not in the bylaws. Like it was like
Oh, I kind of wonder, because I'm looking at a copy of the old regular, like the one that would have been in effect at least like last year when you get your permit, and that's talking about the property line, 300 feet to the property line. I wonder if it was the, do you think the application and the property line have a mismatch?
yeah, I definitely didn't review the bylaws, but I just looked at the application when we
yeah.
were building our coop, and it said 100 feet to dwelling back then. So I just want to bring up that.
No, I appreciate that,
I
because
remember a few years ago, yeah.
yeah, we want to be consistent with that. I think it's consistent in the regulation
Yeah.
as property line. If the application isn't, we can,
It's not on this either. This is the application, so.
okay. I'm thinking
Unless
we,
it was this is the slightly newer version of the application, it could have been an older
yeah, okay.
version.
Yeah, it was during COVID that we built our coop. and
Okay.
it was
Oh,
COVID.
okay, all
I
right.
was like really conscious of not having to talk to people.
Oh, no, I got you. You don't have to talk to anyone. It's just
Yeah.
saying, you tell us who the abutters are. You go to the assessor and you get your list of abutters. And then because they are official abutters, they get a notification of, a hearing if you're going to be issued a, new permit, and they can object to that permit, but you don't have to get their approval. They don't.
Oh.
Your abutter can't just because they don't like you having chickens, can't say you can't have chickens. So it's more just to let the potentially affected people know.
All right. Well,
All right,
thank you so
but-
much.
No, thank you, because I do want to catch, as long as we're trying to clean this up, I want to catch inconsistencies, so I appreciate that. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So we have, I think this is a really easy one, the renewal application info. So I will go through this like draft again and just make sure that the language is in there to correctly describe what we said tonight, that only if information has changed do you have to provide the new information, and we'll make sure there's a checkbox for that on the application. The rodenticides, I think that was a good suggestion to give people educational materials and to point them to resources. I think it's actually a slightly bigger decision, in my opinion, but I want to hear from you too, Trish.
I think we had, when, I can't remember the woman's
Yeah,
name,
yeah,
when they came and presented. And,
Yes.
And it was right before they were gonna go to the State House.
Yeah.
And they gave us all that
Yeah.
material. Was that?
Yeah, exactly.
We had?
I have that.
Yeah. So
I know, I
we
can't
took a lot.
remember the name of the group, but there is a ton of information, and we would be happy to make that information
Yeah.
available to people. It's
These
just
rodenticides.
that to say that you have to, I have a thing about putting things in regulations that you're not going to enforce. It's like, why have a law that you have to stop at a stop sign if nobody's ever going to enforce it? Well, who would ever stop? Why don't we just take down the stop signs and save ourselves the trouble? So I'm always really concerned about things that we like don't really have a good ability to enforce without having to be too intrusive. You know, I'm monitoring what kind of rodenticide are you using and that sort of thing. But I certainly think that we could do something with the educational materials to get the point across that this is something you've got to think through. If you're going to choose a rodenticide, choose the right one. Just don't go out and buy the cheapest thing you can find at the big box store. Think about what it's doing and how it affects the environment and your property. So I'm kind of thinking we do it in educational and reference materials for now.
Yep.
And
Update later.
yeah, it can always, if we need to do something stronger with that, we can always go back to the well and do something stronger, but does it seem reasonable?
Marion started.
Yeah, yeah, oh my God, that's right.
Off the top of my head, yeah, when they came
Yeah.
and presented, because that's already come and gone at the State House when they presented.
Yeah, but I don't think they've voted.
No.
They haven't voted on the bill.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
gonna sit now, okay.
Yeah, and I know there's at least one. I can't remember if it was one of those. There's one in the Senate and the House, but
Yeah.
I know that there is at least one. Late fees. Oh, late fees. Nobody wants to pay their late fees. You don't want to pay your late fee. What is
Excessive late fee, let's call it what it is.
It's
Let's call it
it's
I
an
think it's
inspirational
scale-
fee.
I think scalable is a better.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. We have it as 50. I kind of like your idea though of doing a sort of graduated thing, because yeah, anybody can forget once.
Yeah, make it scalable.
But if you forget every single year, come on. You know, yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right. So we will do then something scalable, and that first one will not be $50.
I do have one comment of that, just because I'm the one who has to track everybody.
Right.
And keep
right.
track of who did it this year and who did it that year and this, that.
Yeah.
That's
And
all.
while that's fine, I also work for 4 departments total. So that's really, it's not hard, but it's hard.
You keep it in a spreadsheet.
I do, I keep it a spreadsheet. I have
Yeah.
spreadsheets going back 15 years.
So you need to scale up your software abilities.
Yeah, but that would be lovely. We're working on that in some ways, but just
No, I
this,
understand.
Yeah.
it results in an extra moving part.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
will. You're right.
Yeah,
It'll add a little
exactly.
more to your plate, but give you more incentive to update the town software so that stuff can be tracked.
I wish I had that power, but I
Oh,
do
no
not have
kidding.
any
Yeah,
of that.
exactly.
Or an ERP type system that actually tracks those things and sends notices out.
That'd be nice. Yes, that's the
That
other
would
thing.
be
I'm the
very
one who sends out
advanced
all
for.
the notices by hand.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm an engineer, sorry.
I
Yeah.
totally, I understand.
Me too. I get you. So I
The other
totally
half of
get
my
this.
job is the building department, so I'm tracking down.
Which is huge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then I also do the planning board, which is all of their things too.
You need more help.
Very nice.
We need more you.
That would be nice. So,
Yeah.
that was the only thing with the scalable, is that ends up a lot on.
I agree. I would take another Sam in a minute. If you can clone yourself, we got a deal.
Just hire a coder to write you some scripts for Excel, and you won't have to worry about it. You get automatically.
I'm actually
Yeah.
fairly decent at that, but.
There you go. Don't second it. Stop complaining.
So how would people feel if we did, because I think we have to vote on this tonight, right? So if we did, how about if we held off the 50 until you're officially a scofflaw?
A scofflaw.
Yeah. So,
Meaning,
I don't know. I'm opening the negotiation on the,
okay.
so it'll get up to 50 if you're a scofflaw. So maybe your second consecutive time being late?
That would seem reasonable. Notification on your first time and a fee of 50 on your second time.
Seems fair.
I think you need to go beyond a notification. You got to pay something because otherwise there's just no incentive to do it. We've got to kind of get a grip on things that have to happen
So
once a year.
split the difference, $25.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Is 25. It's still less than the fee for the permit, and
That's kind of a reverse incentive. If the permit's 35 and your
Yeah.
first fee is 25, you're not going to do it again. 'Cause
Yep.
Now you're going to be paying more the second time for the fee than you are for your permit.
yeah, I
Unless
get
you
you.
have a screw loose, that doesn't make any sense. So I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that does make sense, and that kind of meshes with even the way that the fines are laid out for violating the terms of the permit. There's a first, second. So
Yeah.
okay, does that seem reasonable to you, Trish?
Yes.
25. Yes, you get your first late for $25, but then it's going to cost you $50. All right, and access to property. I think what we need to do there is to put something in here about kind of tying it to what we were talking about, where we'll give you notice that we need to come on, and then there needs to be some period of time that it gets resolved.
Yeah, the initial permit, you could ask for preferred method of contact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like that.
Get
Yeah.
information down. And then, as you said, there are other mediums available if you do need to contact somebody.
Yeah.
The town spent roughly $300 to send out certified letters for this meeting. So, 285 to be exact, so.
I know. I
So,
know it.
you can do the same thing in that instance, it would be
Yeah.
actually more economical than doing that.
No, you're right, and that's
Just a thought.
that is pretty fair. I think what we could do is maybe let the circumstances flow a little bit. So if you're overrun with rats and there are bears and lions and tigers on your property, we may have to say you have to contact us within 48, 24, 72
Oh, sure, you can set a
hours.
timeline on it, absolutely.
Yeah, if it's just, hey, we've got a feeling that something's different or whatever, we had a complaint or think there might be rats, then that could maybe have a longer timing. And that would be worked out then in the communication between the permit holder and it's a sort of a combination of Bridget and Julie because they both do the inspections.
Seems more reasonable.
Okay, all right. That works for me.
Great.
Does it work for you?
Yes.
Awesome.
Everyone
My job
to be happy.
Changes will be so made. So how, Sam, the heck do we vote on this thing? That
So-
we're gonna vote on with the changes discussed.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And once again, I am so sorry I was late. That was so rude.
Thank you.
Thanks for the input.
Yeah.
Finalized copies will be sent out with your permit renewals
All right,
this year.
great, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So what you will do is make a motion to approve the updates and changes to the regulations as presented and discussed.
Okay,
vote on that, and then afterwards make a motion to close the public hearing.
So I make a motion to approve,
I'm writing it down for you. Draft,
okay.
Greg, as presented and discuss.
She's giving me a cue card.
I am.
Thank you.
And then
All right.
after that,
Yes.
I need to then do the close the public
So
hearing.
you'll second it, you'll vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve the draft regulation as presented and discussed.
Okay,
All those in favor? No, that's you.
okay.
I make the
Motion has been made. I second. Made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have to do this by roll call? Okay.
Okay.
All right. Got it. Then,
Now,
I move to close the public hearing on the keeping of animals and fowls regulation. Our vote having been taken.
aye.
Yes.
I second it.
Yes. All right. Made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. So done.
Okay.
I will do another draft and get that over.
There's not a lot though, right? It's just
No,
it's
no,
more
no.
like inserting language into what's
Yeah.
already here. So
And then I'll do like a, like list of, can you email me is the current application on the website?
It is, but I can send you a copy.
Yeah, if you could just email it.
And
to
I
me
can
then.
update that part's easy.
Yeah, I just want to take a look at it and see, because then I can like do a checklist of, let's say this
Do you
or
want a
that,
hard
so.
copy? Because I have one.
That doesn't matter. Hard copy's okay. Yeah, because I'll let you edit it. It's like you can do how you want it laid out or whatever.
all right, there you go.
Perfect.
And then this was something that was another version of the back.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There you go.
Is one of these any more or less updated? Maybe this one is more?
That
'Cause
one we
it's
don't, that second page we don't use yet. That was just.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Got it. So this is like, building. So we would do this if checklist of all butters, not fees. Yeah, so when do we then have to get like water to sign off?
I would treat it the same way I do a building permit. I email them once a day going, hey,
Okay, all right, got ya.
that's,
Gotcha.
that's how that, that's,
Okay.
I don't mind doing that. That's pretty.
Does water department and tax collector sign off on the animal permits or?
No, but we could.
Oh no, it's just that because they're on here. I was just asking.
Yeah, no,
is that,
I-
it's just because this is like a generic list of sign off. Oh, okay, I got you.
I stole that off the building permit.
Yeah, okay, I got you. That makes sense. Yeah, barn inspector. Yeah, that all makes sense. And conservation, we did, say that we want to at least notify.
Yeah, if they're in
Yeah.
wetland, if they're in.
Yeah, then you've
If
got
they're, in the middle of a, whatever, then
yeah.
she doesn't care.
Right, conservation only like for the ones where it matters. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Thank you. So that was that. We didn't have any other public input, I guess. So public hearing is Bridget had to go.
She had another
but
appointment.
yeah, is there any info in the packet from her? Is there anything that we have to? So nothing we have to deal with or anything. Okay, that sounds fine. And I haven't heard from her that there's anything emergent. So, for old business, just wanted to do a little update here for opioid abatement funds.
Yes.
So, Trish, tell us what
Let's see,
you've
did I take that out?
found out lately.
Yeah. So, I've been the rep going forward with the opioid abatement, keeping, going to the meetings so that people, so taking notes and updating. Now, do you think I can find that?
And we have our signed MOU.
Yes,
all of that,
So-
so we're good to go.
What's gonna happen is they're going to go to a different, a body now where it's, you know, we're gonna be meeting like twice a year, and there will be, well, in the IMA that I brought, do you think I can?
This
I
is
had
the
all
like
this-
steering advisory
Yes.
committee that's gonna meet a
Right.
couple times a
And
year,
it-
right?
And it breaks it down into, yes, right here. So that was the question that I had, when we went to the select board and they signed off on it, and we're gonna be, investing.
Yeah,
If people wanna see the breakdown of the money, which will change
yeah.
every
yeah,
year. So they're gonna have an advisory board that will, meet semi-annually by the host agent, and that's, Francis Daigle is in Littleton, he's the health
Yeah.
agent. So my question was, do we, as a board,
Mhm.
take this on as, you know, getting, I'm not saying permission, but, because some towns had gone in front of their select board and they had working groups, and we're doing it
Yeah.
differently. Every town
Yeah.
is kind of doing
Yeah,
it differently.
yeah.
So I didn't know if
exactly.
you got a chance to look at the, I know,
I had
that's
just-
okay,
I
that's
had
okay.
just opened it up. I'm looking at my
Were
clock
you?
going, oh my God, I have less than an
Ah.
hour. I gotta find this. I gotta look at this.
Okay,
So I still need to look at that. I would say that if we have, if we have people in mind that certainly have expressed an interest, like,
that's what, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
now that you told me that, it's coming back to me. The survey, was there any?
wasn't there like one of the last questions, like a
Yeah.
free form?
Okay.
Yeah.
I could not pull that up today, I could not find it, and I wanted to ask you if there
I
were.
can get them for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So
all
if
right.
there, if there was some interest by people.
Yes.
You can't access it because I shut it off, so we didn't
Okay.
just keep getting
Oh,
There
okay,
you go.
gotcha.
So
gotcha.
that's what we were
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
because, the other towns, the people that were originally on on this opioid board together, it's usually that person and someone else in like an alternate.
Yeah.
There's not
yeah.
a whole heck of a lot to
Is
do
that
except
the actual MOU? Is that
Yes.
the section where it talks about
Yes.
having to do this? Okay.
And
it's-
the advisory board is the part right there. So I guess, after talking to a rep from Harvard and a
Yeah,
rep
I
from
see.
Littleton, there is, they're gonna be part of this advisory board, the original members, and then they have a secondary member. So that's why I wanted to look at whoever had interest from the survey, maybe they would like to come on board with that. And it's not a whole lot
Yeah.
of commitment.
yeah.
It's just
yeah,
that
I
you
see
need
what you're saying.
somebody,
Yeah,
or you need at least 2 people.
I can get you the list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if they don't, then I can think of some other folks from the past that have expressed interest. They were very happy to hear that the state was getting this money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
a lot of people want to have, some kind of input as to how it's spent, and that's going to all be
Yep.
discussed in public. But
So it really
yeah.
is gonna. It sounds like with the meeting just a couple of times a year, it's
Yeah.
gonna really be like a
Yeah.
steering.
So,
committee or,
I looked at the sign-off sheet the other day, and there were 3 towns that already had their alternate and their
Okay.
rep,
Okay.
and they've signed on, and it's not like, hurry up and get it done. There were a couple other towns besides us that hadn't
Okay. Good.
signed on
Good.
yet.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to make you aware
I
of
kind of
how.
think what we should do, and I want input from anybody if
Yeah.
you think I'm going off on the wrong track here. I'm not exactly sure. So it's talking about appointed by each municipality. municipality's chief executive. Right? And I know that they told you we were kind of overthinking this, but
Yep.
so I would say it's worth, let me send an email to Robert and just kind of call his attention to this section, let him know what it is we're looking to do.
Yeah, I think that and there's the next page on page 4 talks about additional members, and the municipalities can add additional municipalities to this agreement following a duly authorized request upon 2/3 votes of the advisory board and amendment of this agreement in accordance. So there's a lot.
Yeah, so it can even like
Yeah.
decide to admit new
Yeah.
towns and stuff. Okay.
And yeah, we should probably check, have Robert just,
Let me just check with
Run
him
through
on
it.
what do we need to do here, because I think, my God, Sam, isn't Robert the chief executive for the municipality, or is that the select board?
that
That is a good question.
Yeah.
I think that's a Robert question.
Yeah, I think it is too. That's why I'm like, I don't want to run afoul of, like
What
the,
is
the way this is written.
on the bottom
here.
of 3,
Yeah, go ahead. I got your whole copy here. So.
yeah, the composition of the,
Oh, yeah. There's another page of
composition
it.
of the, what page is that?
That's,
Oh, that's
the
the
first
first
one.
one.
Yeah.
The composition of the advisory board, that's, yeah, the 2
Yeah.
members.
Appointed
And then
by.
each
yeah.
participating municipality entitled to 1 vote. And like they said, it's not it's not as formal as it sounds. And then it addresses the quorum, and the meetings have to be posted, just like, so that's why I think it's important that we run it by Robert.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it seems pretty official when you get down there.
Yeah, I do too, and it's something that the town is tied into with this
Yeah, yeah.
MOU, so I don't
Yep.
want to in any way
Yep.
like run afoul of that. Let me send him an email, and I will offer to him that we do have probably a few names from the survey that we did. I'm sure that as a town, selectmen too have tie-ins to people that they would, like you said, some other municipalities, there are people in fire and police, and so
Right.
we could also make that offer if there's someone
Right.
from
And like I
fire,
said, it's
police.
not, it's not a whole lot of investment of time.
Yeah, it's like they don't have to be sworn in,
yeah.
or they don't have to run for this office.
It looks
or,
more official
you know.
on here than it really.
Yeah, but it is a pretty official position in terms of the operation, I
Well,
think.
there's a lot
yeah.
a lot of money at stake, so.
Okay. Now I have a clearer idea what it is that we need. So
Yes.
I'll take that one on.
Yeah.
I'll ask Robert what we should do here, and then I'll just let him
So,
know. We have
yes,
some.
so
We can help with
this
some
is-
names.
Robert's on the back page, on page 6.
Okay.
As far as, so Francis he was the original person that took it on as the host. Littleton was the original host town. So
Yep.
Francis took that on. They're all set. They have their 2 reps. Harvard has their 2 reps, and then they have their town administrator. They also have a working group. But then again, like I said, Harvard got,
Yeah.
so they really have to have that.
Yeah.
So
they
Robert is on our list, Bolton,
Okay.
Groton, they all have,
should. Yeah.
their
There's
contact.
someone identified.
Yeah.
At least.
and everybody's signature, so,
All right.
yeah.
Let me find out what they recommend that we do there, and we'll take that from there. So if you have another meeting coming up and we don't have any movement yet,
Yeah, I'm
just-
waiting,
You can just let them know we're working on it.
yeah, because I'm gonna go look, I had to download the sign-off sheet the other day.
Oh,
And then,
okay,
like I
yeah,
said, there was still
yeah.
some blank, besides Ayer,
Yeah.
we weren't the only town that
Yeah.
hadn't finished.
I can't
So
imagine.
it's a good thing,
Okay.
yeah, so,
All right. We'll figure that one out.
yep.
And then the health equity partnership.
Yes.
There's a couple of meetings coming up on that one.
Yes.
The one is that the holistic communities one? What subgroup is that?
This is Neshoba Health Equity. This is.
Or is it just a general? It doesn't matter which subgroup.
Oh, it's the second meeting of the Neshoba Health Equity Partnership. You have to register. They're talking about the loss of the hospital, and the community leaders went to work. It goes on and on. Several initiatives have already begun, and you have an opportunity to drive and help develop new ones as part of this.
Gotcha.
So they're looking
So
for.
it's the whole.
Yeah, it's the whole.
It's not the
kit and
individual
caboodle.
groups.
No.
It's like the umbrella group. Oh,
No.
okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Are you gonna go to?
I looked at this
that
and I said it's 3:30 to 5:30, March
Yeah.
19th, and it's in Townsend. So I have to get. Yeah, there's a registration here.
Okay. Can you do it? Do you want?
Yeah,
to do
it's
it?
during the
Can you-
day. I
it
know
is?
it's easier
Yeah.
for me to go than you. You're working.
Yeah,
Um,
probably is.
There's a cap of 50 attendees.
Okay.
So, yeah, I should
Yeah.
hurry up.
Sign
and
up
do
for
that.
it. If anything happens in between now
Yeah.
and then, let me know. And if we have to.
And the
sub
other
out in
ones,
some way.
the other meetings I went to a couple of the Zoom ones
What was the
for
date, by the way, on that one again?
March 19th.
March 19th. Okay, got it.
Yeah, March 19th, 3:30 to 5:30, Townsend Meeting Hall,
Okay.
Dudley Road in Townsend. And that was Sam, did you get the flyer or not?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Not that, the other one, I was waiting to hear back on the other one for,
Like if the sub.
I can't remember, there was so many,
doing-
there was like 4 when we
Yeah.
started off.
Those are like the next level down, I think.
Right.
But this sounds like it's for the.
This is, yeah.
yeah,
this
like the
is
top level
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know how much I can get involved in that. I liked going to the other one that we talked about, the, trying to get people, they had, I know what I thought was really great was they had taken the libraries, they had gotten permission. They
Mhm.
were gonna have those telehealth stations in libraries.
Oh.
So they were working on, they were, I don't know.
Oh, how cool is
Yes.
that?
Well, because I think it's still in the works. It was suggested because a lot of seniors, they're the one population that doesn't get the information that they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
said that it would be great if they could, we could find a way, at least get them to a public library, and then there would be somebody there that at least could get them on the computer for a telehealth.
Right.
So they were
right.
working on that, and I thought that was really a great idea.
That sounds.
And they would have it
fabulous.
off to one side, there would be a
Yeah,
private
it'd be kind of
area.
private.
Because
yeah.
I know, like my mom, she wouldn't be able to do, wouldn't be able to
I
click
know.
on, I know it sounds simple to us, but.
And
Yeah.
it's not always that easy because does the link work or did something
Yeah.
go amiss? And yeah.
So that was, I can't remember which group we were on.
Was
there,
that the
Oh, wait.
one with? Was it Access? Was that the Access group or was it the elderly?
This, this was the prior to the prioritization session. This was the one that I went to originally. And these were all of the suggestions that they talked about, collecting data on health and incomes. They had the youth mental health one.
Yep. Yep.
And then they had the healthcare access.
Yep.
And there was all these different subgroups that they talked about.
There was also I think the other two is holistic communities.
Yeah,
And the aging
right.
one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that one was really good, and I was feverishly taking notes, and it got ahead of me. But they talked a lot about the transportation to healthcare, how the 4 towns they had without any registered providers. Talked about so a need for help with navigation of the health plan, senior centers, libraries.
Yeah.
So the
got it.
library thing, it sounds like
I
that's
love that idea.
Yeah, I think that's.
Did you get a lot of seniors coming into the library? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
The library really facilitates very young children and seniors. It's
Oh,
everyone in between.
yeah.
It's everyone in between that you're like, oh, how do we get a 40-year-old?
I
yeah.
know. And yet, like, when we were kids, it's like adults, everybody went to the library.
Everybody
We
went.
didn't-
And they do.
just buy
You'll get
books.
You'll get them when they bring their children in.
Yeah.
So as the children get older, you'll lose the adults for a little bit, but they usually come back.
I think
You
it's
have
like,
to work too much.
there's just so many subscriptions and things that you can get for things that you can like download on a Kindle or even an iPad, and they're not that
Yeah.
expensive for a.
But through
You know,
the
Kindle books,
library, you
so.
can borrow all your audiobooks and ebooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's people even knowing that.
And that was
That's what they,
Yeah.
that was a big one they talked about because the,
like I do it all the time.
the senior,
Yeah.
well, the senior population is the one that doesn't have
Yeah.
access to the
of
thing,
course,
and
yeah.
it would be nice if they did, but this was the original one that was at the
Got it.
library,
Yeah.
and then, then it broke it down,
Well,
broke
that's
it down
why the
into
senior
the
center will
different.
be good too, because they can actually have like little private
Privacy.
rooms.
Yes.
You can have some
Yeah.
privacy.
Yep,
Yeah, that would be
yeah,
better.
this, it talks all the different, oh, that's what it is. Transportation, housing, all of the stuff that, a lot of people don't have access to, so.
You know, I think if you don't have young kids, you kind of don't know enough about the resources at the library. Because, like, even the passes, my sister and my niece sort
Yeah.
of turned me on to that because
Yep.
my sister being a teacher for so they always use the, passes. And we've used those a few times, and I never think of it.
I
But
used to use them when my kids were little.
Yeah.
My husband and I used one this weekend.
awesome, yeah. I think that's fantastic. We just went over the summer with, we took my nephew and we used,
Oh, it was just him and I. We
It's
didn't
great.
bring the kids.
That's nice.
he's like 14. He's verging on not kid
Oh,
anymore.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You guys. So, I'm just waiting to,
Okay.
I should go back on my emails and look which.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was-
we talked about it, Pam, because there were 4 different ones,
Yeah.
and you were gonna do 2, and I was gonna do 2.
I know.
And-
I need to go back and look.
Yeah.
And so let's just,
I'll go back.
I'll
look
send
tomorrow.
you like an email
Yeah.
list or something. And
But
we
there was a
can-
lot, I wanted to stay in touch with that one that had to do with the senior population and getting that one. And then the youth mental health one, I think that it had a lot of input from the school nurses
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah, and I kind of had explained our interest in it as Board of Health that, we're not really in a position to be driving anything
Right.
or, I mean, we're a
Right.
small volunteer board, but I want to stay in touch with what they're doing so that we have communication flow. If there's any way that we can be of assistance,
Yeah.
if there's anything that they would like.
Or just
You know.
getting any information from them to bring back and talk
Yeah,
about
being
here,
a-
and then
To
people
help
can-
disseminate the
Yeah.
information. So it's kind of like a how could we help each other,
Yeah.
with each
Well,
other.
they were talking about how to get information out to seniors about like even that those telehealth stations that they're proposing.
Yeah.
And I remembered when the hospital closed, and I don't know if this is something that can be done or not, because then you're talking about private,
Yeah. that's the-
private businesses. But I remember when Steve said, how do you let the seniors know? So many of them have doctors up there, and they only go once a year, and then they go up there, and where's my doctor?
Yeah.
And he had gotten permission to put like a little flyer in at Ayer Family Pharmacy
Yeah.
or different places like
Yeah.
that hey, you could probably do the same thing and reach those people that are unreachable by doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
I know. I do
Yeah.
like that idea.
Yeah.
The other thing too that any individual town can do is, and maybe it's too early to do it for this one, but the table at town meeting where there's always
Right.
like information that
Yeah.
you can take, information sheet on
Yeah.
these groups, and that would maybe be a good thing to to bring up at sort of that higher level meeting
Yeah.
is, for next year's round of town meetings, let's
Yeah.
think about what, as a group, so every town doesn't have to think of what to do. Is there something we
Yeah,
could,
but it's,
like a general or something?
it's good to listen to what the other ones are doing.
Yeah.
And what-
It's actually pretty inspiring when you start hearing what other people are up to. There is a lot of stuff going on. We need a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of good people out there giving time and energy and
Yeah, so we will see how it all comes.
Okay, well, let's assume you're gonna go to the one on the 19th. As I said, if
Yes.
something happens and, if you have an emergency
It might,
or whatever,
it
let
might
me know.
even be way over what they're talking about. It might be a little higher up than what we're used to hearing from the individual
Yeah,
Zoom
yeah.
meetings,
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, perfect. You are continuing as our emissary. I like that.
Let's see, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that's what it is, the Mobile Integrated Health Pilot. Hospital at home was another opportunity pending legislation.
Huh.
I don't know how they were gonna fund it, but they were talking about it.
Is that kind of like the idea of step down in the home and sending nursing in
Yeah,
to...
because, here it is, social isolation, aging population, subset,
Yeah.
home care, adult in-home care. A lot of people are just finding out about that caregiver. If you're living with somebody and you're taking care of them,
Yeah.
that you're eligible for, you
Yeah.
can't work if you're taking care of them full-time.
Yep, I
But
know.
you can put in for that through the state.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. We talked about how to, the unreachables, they called them.
Yeah.
Get a list, they were saying, get a list that shows all the seniors' addresses to reach them. But I mean, how do you know who's of a certain age?
I know, that's hard
That's
too. I know.
hard, but that's what they were doing in, I think, Harvard.
Yeah.
So,
I gotcha.
Healthcare Access Working Groups, they said micro coalition of the 9 towns. Yeah, and Harvard has an in-home program.
Nice.
Yep. So,
All right.
I'm not good at that. See how I take notes? I got like 3 different things here. I knew I had them.
At least you did. Yeah.
See, Harvard's telehealth is up and running.
Wow. Huh.
Yep, the libraries, the COAs.
And they have a senior center that...
When I was on this call, it was like the director of the senior center was on. The one of the EMTs was on
Oh,
because they
wow.
were talking
All from
about-
Harvard?
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 different representatives there, and they were
Wow.
talking about that, how they can have this in-home,
Yeah.
they go.
Yeah.
But then again, he reminded me that they don't have the same caseload as we do because our ambulances are going 24/7.
Yeah, right,
They don't
right.
have that problem.
Yeah, this is true.
So they can concentrate more on these.
Yep, that's very true.
Yeah. But it's good to hear anyways. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do appreciate you keeping tabs on that. So call log
Yeah.
looks
Oh,
very
yeah.
quiet. We
Yep.
got a water damage from ice dam that looks like it was from a while ago.
Yeah.
Complaint that MAC service to Emerson has been canceled. What is that anyway? Is there,
So there was, for a period of time, you could get one of the MART vans,
Yeah.
whatever, at the library, and it would take you to Emerson.
I remember that,
There was
yeah.
conversation. Turns out that was a grant.
Oh.
Monies are gone. I double checked with Carly what was going on just to make sure,
Oh.
because she's part of the MART thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I called Carly of like, hey, I had this complaint. I happen to know who the gentleman is.
I
Sweet.
gotcha.
It was just one of those of, hey, what's going on? What can I tell him? She goes, unfortunately, the money's just gone.
I should let them know up at Neshoba Park
Yeah.
because I see it on their bulletin board.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should. Is there any, like, more grant money available? Is
I
anybody
think it
going
was
after
federal,
it?
so
Or?
who knows?
Oh, wow.
I think it was, and then it was used so much, like it was supposed to last so long, and it was used so much, it got sucked up so
Oh,
fast.
really?
Like it was a thing. So they're looking into other stuff, but it's sort of a.
I got
I'm
you.
sorry, but we
Yeah.
and we don't
yeah.
have any say over that. So
That came in right after the hospital.
yes, it was sort of in
Right.
response to the hospital.
Yeah.
but it was. Sort
But
of
it was federal money? It wasn't state
I don't know if it was
money? or
federal.
was
It might have been state. It could have been federal.
Yeah.
State. I don't.
Whatever it is, it's gone.
It's and I think it got used up,
Yeah.
and it was like a whole thing.
Okay. So
Ah.
now
She
we know.
explained it to me, and I went, "Oh, this is not
Yeah.
like I."
Yeah. Got it. That's a valid complaint, because I'm
Yeah,
sure
no.
that was
Yeah.
He-
a lifeline.
he
That
just-
could be something too that you bring back to the group, Trish, is
Yeah.
like, I don't know
They
about
lost-
what the other participating towns do or how they get their funding to do that,
Yeah.
but could be worth like a discussion, especially in the elder
Yeah. And-
group or
And he very much called. He knew there was nothing.
Yeah.
We could- He just wanted the complaint.
yeah, no, good for him. I think that's great. That is a
Yeah.
pretty valid complaint.
The,
It is.
what, can I just ask, this
Yeah.
requesting rental assistant at Neshoba Inns,
Yeah.
so how,
That's nothing to do with us. It went to the housing office.
yeah, I was gonna say that,
It's like housing assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's housing assistance. There's a whole program with it. You have to be a resident of Ayer and have been displaced. You're staying at the motel, and they can offer
Yeah.
you some rental. It's a whole thing. It's nothing. She just
Yeah.
called me like.
Okay, I got you. And then
Sort of,
the
yeah.
heat with the landlord, that one's kind of recent.
That one's
Oh.
recent, and it's actually the same gentleman who had the complaint about the landlord not clearing the driveway.
oh,
Earlier.
I kind of thought that somewhere
Same.
in my mind, I thought there was a connection between those
Same.
two.
Same.
Okay.
So Bridget is aware of what's going on. She's been in contact with him.
Okay.
What happens in a lot of these cases is I get the calls, I let you and Bridget know, and Bridget will reach out, or sometimes they'll reach out to Bridget, depending
Yeah.
on how it goes. And Bridget goes, I need to do an inspection, and to do an inspection, I need to tell your landlord. And then they all go, never mind.
Yep, I know.
She can't do it in secret.
I know.
And it becomes hard. Or a lot of them just never call back.
It's hard all around because I get the fear of retribution
I get the fear of retribution
from
too,
the landlord. I really do.
which, yeah, they're not allowed to do that.
I
it's a
know,
fun
but-
thing. They'll still do it anyway.
Right. And you gotta
You gotta be
Are
careful.
you gonna put the money into proving that they did it?
Yeah, so you have to be
No.
careful. So that is what happens. This gentleman's called a couple of times.
Okay.
They've all been noted. Bridget's done what she
Yeah,
could.
and she's on it.
And
Okay.
I'm assuming at some point he will make it official, however
Yeah.
you want to call that.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I'll just check in with her the next time that
Yeah.
I talk to her. All right. So that looks pretty reasonable. We got a couple of minutes.
yeah.
Moving right along here. So the one from January 12th, that was just you and me, Trish. So
Yeah.
we can sign these. And I looked at the email when this came out. This looked reasonable to me. And we can approve the other one too,
Yes.
right? It's
Ken?
because we have a
Yeah.
board.
Do you want this one?
Yeah.
Do you want the January ones?
So if you make motions,
Oh, I
When
I
you
listed
feel-
these on
when you feel
On
like
the
doing it.
computer this afternoon. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from Monday, January 12th, 2026.
All right, I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I am signing those. one. Going back to the same one.
And we can do the other one too?
Yeah, we can. We have a quorum here. And just as long as we're looking at those, I am still looking into the noise thing. I was looking at some of the references
Oh, yeah.
that Amy McCoy had given us, and I'm going to talk to a couple of other people on that too. So that is not a dead issue. I'm just still researching it. Yeah, these looked okay to me.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from Monday, February 9th, 2026.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There's that one. Coming back to you. Do we have any bills or mail
Yeah,
requiring attention?
me too. Well, okay, so there was an invoice because of the way payables ended up. I did just go ahead and pay it. It was Bridget's renewal for the MHOA.
Oh.
It's $60. So
Yeah.
you approve it every year.
Yeah.
So the Board of Health spent $60 for Bridget.
Is that the it's that MAHB membership or?
MHAOA, it's the, what is it? That's a photocopy, so I'm missing. Massachusetts Health Officers Association.
Oh, okay, I know what that one is.
Yeah.
There's another group that we used to belong to, and I think in the last couple of years we haven't, but it can be pretty good for regulations and stuff, and it's the Mass Association of Health Boards, MAHB.
Okay.
Get a moment. Can you just check into that one? I think that was only like $60
Okay.
too. And they do a training twice a year. When I first got on the board, I did their training, and it's like you have to give up a Saturday, but you know, it's like a 9 to 3 kind of thing for new health board members. And then they did like special topics, and that was really a good training. But the other thing is they have a good website, and you can access, like they'll do a lot of model,
Good.
regulations, and they'll post regs from other towns. They also do a lot of posting of like things that were challenged in court that, you know, hey, boards of health, be aware, there's this or that court decision. So yeah, see if they're still
Yeah, I'll definitely look to
reasonably.
see if they're around.
Yeah, and like what is their renewal year? Do they have a fiscal year or a calendar year or whatever? Just
Definitely
just see
figure
if
that
you can find. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the other piece of mail, I received it today. This is the nomination for Inspector of Animals.
Oh yes,
I
absolutely.
Did call Julie to see if she was still interested, because
Yep.
don't want to sign her up without that.
Yeah, I
But
know.
she didn't call me back, so.
All right. Yeah, just see if you can get.
So
Yeah.
if she gets it, then we'll.
Yeah,
Go from
absolutely.
there.
I certainly hope she does. She's
Yeah.
quite
she's great.
knowledgeable.
and
All
that's
right.
about it.
I think for upcoming meetings and dates, I would keep like as part of our standard. Certainly, we keep Michelle on every time, but for the old business, I would keep those two on because things are, still happening kind of every month or so. And I might have some information on noise. I'm not really sure if that. I'll kind of get
We got a month.
my information wrapped up. So I'll have to talk to you before the thing. Do you have anything that like we know already? Is that hey, we better
No, I just
think about this? Okay. Yeah, that's good.
was reading whatever was given to us
Yeah.
at that meeting, but.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Tobacco, Joan Hamlet is.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't that like we were gonna look at that again in the
Yeah,
summer or something,
no,
but
no,
you
I
haven't heard any.
I haven't heard from her.
Okay, all right. Don't poke the sleeping bear unless.
I gotta email her the list of tobacco permits. I'm pretty sure I did. Now I can't remember if I did that.
Next time you're talking to her,
Yeah.
just tell her we're
She likes
always.
to call every so often.
Yeah, exactly. We're always happy to host her to talk about
Yep.
updates.
Yeah, I know there's been some new concerns with some new products on the market.
Oh, yeah. It's like a whack-a-mole to keep up with,
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
what's coming out, so.
Yeah, so I wonder if they have any new regs or new things on that.
Yeah.
Only because I've been hearing it from the kids, so I'm wondering,
Yeah.
has it made it to the
Yeah,
tobacco
yeah.
people yet?
And they still think if they vape, it's safer than cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, it's so much
Oh, yeah.
better.
Tastes
Oh.
better too. Like,
The new fun thing is flavored nicotine chewing tobacco.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
It's not really tobacco, but it's got
Yeah.
nicotine. It's a whole
Because so
thing.
many 40 and 50-year-olds go out and buy bubblegum
yeah.
chewing tobacco.
Then there's Zyn.
It's not targeting
You
kids.
get Zyn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tucker
My
Carlson.
son you can order it on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like it's not quite like the chewing tobacco, it's like a little paper.
Yep,
You can put it right there.
Oh,
big thing.
wow. They
Big
make
thing.
it so easy.
big thing at the high school.
Yeah, and he wasn't a smoker. I mean, he did when he was
Jeez. Yeah.
overseas,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But,
came back and didn't
yep.
puff.
Yeah,
continue.
you
But he
never
was
out of
using
it,
that.
so, yeah.
I was thinking about this, I think over the weekend I saw some little blurb about Tucker Carlson has some kind of, it's like a nicotine product. It's supposed to be real high test and like a truckload of it. The first truckload that was going to ship to customers
And it's
got
not-
stolen
it's not bad?
somewhere. I don't know. And I'm like, oh wow, we're still coming out with new
things.
ways to get people.
Yeah.
Tobacco is never going to
Because
give up
it's
its
so
grip.
addictive.
It is. Anyway, all right. That's all I think we have to do tonight.
Yeah,
So
that was enough.
if you want to make any motions, we'll entertain them.
I will make a motion to close the Board of Health meeting for March 9th, 2026.
I second that. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.